just re-signed with Bellator, you know, is awesome. You know, dream come true. The process of getting re-signed with Bellator, going up to San Jose, watching a big card, meeting with Scott Coker, playing some golf, and just shooting back and forth, not really talk about the contract or the signing, just being able to talk about who we are as people. And, you know, I think he got to really know who I am and what I want to accomplish in the sport. I first got signed with them to a 4-fight deal, ran through my first 4 fights, you know, in the most spectacular way that I could, you know, and just setting the stage on my last fight, fighting Ricky Bandejas in my hometown at the Forum where dreams come true. You know, it was a dream come true for me, for one, to fight at the Forum. And to fight a guy like Ricky Bandejas, who had the recognition, who had the capability of taking me out and going in there and dominating them the three rounds that I did, and hoping that it set the stage for Bellator to re-sign me. You know, after that fight, not knowing if I was going to be re-signed, because you're going into free agent territory, and you just don't know what at that point what's going to happen with your career. You know, you're basically unemployed. So sitting back, believing in my manager to go out to bat for me without me having to do a thing. I already did my part as my job. But knowing that I had the team around me to go out there and push my name out there, and Bellator jumping on the offer of wanting to re-sign me, you know, made me feel good, made me know that I did my job. Signing me to a bigger contract going in and giving me a fight that I have coming up at Madison Square Garden, fighting a previous title holder, is going to set the stage for this new contract.
The jab or the angling on the jab? So we got the like the drift with the jab, right? Yeah. So we got the drift with the jab. When they're when you're trying to come, when I'm trying to pull a jab, remember I don't want to jab and answer good because he can answer back. So anytime I jab, I know I'm not going to knock him out, so I'm always going to drift with my jab because that's going to prevent him from throw like a 2-3 at me after the jab. See if you can hit me with that 2 and 3. But when I drift, go the 2 and 3. See, I'm all the way over here, so I'm going to make him reach forward a little bit more. Is what my goal is. And then when I'm using my...
So this camp training with some of the guys that here in SoCal, you know, guys like Aaron Pico, Raymond Daniels, Syed Awad, Georgi Karakhanyan, TJ Dillashaw, Cub Swanson.
Then I'm going to step this way. And I'm stepping nice and tight, so that way I don't really have to worry. Remember, before you were kind of coming here, so now I'm still hitting me with that hook. I want to be as tight as I can. Now I can grab, I can do whatever I want to.
Been incorporating some of their movement into my new style, you know, always evolving, always trying to stay up on the game and know what the new age style is.
No grabbing the low kick, just check it.
I gave him poison just for fun. I had one friend, now there's none. I made the devil run. I broke so many bones, but none of them were ever my own. They were an army, I was alone. I broke so many bones.
You know, fighting Ricky Bandejas at 135, you know, I thought was going to put me in title contention right away. Like, okay, I felt like he was the #1 contender going in to the weight class. Had a long, grueling weight cut to get down there. Everything was mapped out by Sam Calavita. And so knowing that this was the last fight on my contract, fight the #1 contender, get re-signed, fight for the title right away. You know, we have these visions of what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. Well, in that time frame, there was still talks of Horiguchi and Darren Caldwell being rematched. And so during my renegotiation process, they said, you know, how soon would Juan want to fight? And I wanted to fight right away. You know, there's no reason to wait for something to happen. That's going to take possibly the next 6 months. So just jumping on the opportunity. I've never been one to sit back and say I deserve something. You know, I've always wanted to go out there and just, you know, this is my profession, this is my career, I want to fight. And so them reaching out to me, asking if I wanted to fight a 2-time division champ, or 2-time Bellator 135 champ, you know, I jumped at the opportunity, and they said, you know, how would you like to fight at 145? And I jumped on it. really feel like God's hands in what we're doing here through the biggest ups and through the biggest downs. You know, we created a home environment. Everyone that we train with have kids, have a family, have wives that they love and support, and you know, we're all here for each other. If someone has a fight, we're either going with them or we're going to stay back and watch their family while they're gone at war, you know. So it's just knowing that and having that family atmosphere brings your soul to peace, knowing that you're doing everything the right way in order to go into your fight, your battle, whatever you're facing, and give you the encouragement that I'm not just doing this for me, but I'm doing this for the family that's around me. And it's a huge inspiration on all of us. You know, we feel when someone loses, we feel when someone wins, you know, we feel when someone's going through a hard time. You know, we're all there for each other, you know, whether it be, you know, getting the highest highs or the lowest lows. You know, we're there to pick each other up, and I think that's what makes us different than most teams. You know, I get a lot of compliments through, you know, people all over that are on the outside looking in on how close we are, you know. And it's never just about one person when it comes to our team. It's about the whole team and how we're going to better each other and how we're going to lift each other up. The first time I experienced Madison Square Garden was with Aaron Pico, you know, and being able to be there and being a fly on the wall, so to speak, of just seeing everything accumulate, how things got set up, how everything revolved around the fight venue, the hotel. Just get your mind state ready. It's crazy how life works sometimes, because you put yourself, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, you know, you're gonna go out and help this guy, like, don't you have a fight coming up? It's like, yeah, but I want to get my mind state ready. So, you know, going out to help Aaron Pico and going out to help TJ Dillashaw on these venues and these opportunities is more beneficial than people actually see on the outside looking in. For me, it was to get my mind ready, because I knew one day I was going to be in that spot. And come June 14th, I get to fight at Madison Square Garden, and I've already played it in my head how my weight cut's gonna go, how my fight's gonna go, how my warm-up's gonna go, how the crowd's gonna look, you know, how the venue is, how cold the air is in the arena, you know, how loud the arena is when you get rocked, how loud the arena is when you rock someone. It's just like, it set me up to be able to succeed.
Okay? So we're going to start off. I want to use that jab hand just like we're doing, just to get him to blink. Then it's going to be an elevation change, right? My favorite is going with that rear uppercut. I showed you guys before. I like to get underneath the guy and bring a nice big rear uppercut. That's where all the power is going to come from. But there's a lot of shit we can do. We'll start off with that, right? So again, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna pump our jab a couple times. Right, hit your jab. It can be loose. You can let him see it, right? Whatever it may be. But after one of my jabs, I'm gonna take a shot.
Being at Madison Square Garden, you know, the history of that building, it just thrives on its own. You know, walking by the street and looking and saying, oh, that's Madison Square Garden. That's where, you know, some of the best have fought. Frazier Ali. You got all these just historic fights that have taken place there. And just walking down in the tunnels and knowing the footsteps that have been there before you is, you feel the battlefield. You know, a good comparison that I can make is when I was in Spain. I went to the only part in Spain that's never been conquered before. It's called Covadonga. And just feeling the ground and feeling the echoes off that ground, you could feel just the battle. You know, just I could feel the battlefield off there. Same thing goes when you step onto a battlefield at Madison Square Garden. You get down in that tunnel, you get down in the locker rooms, you could feel the vibration of the previous fights that have been there.
Good, make him work, back on him, yes. Flow. Nice, yes.
Stepping in on the weight scale, knowing that, oh man, Muhammad Ali at the same time has stepped on the scale, you know. It's just, for a fighter to go to Madison Square Garden, actually being able to fight in the arena is, you can't even put into words of the feeling you get, because you know the history that's been there before you, and to fight a guy, and just to fight a guy there is okay, you know, you're like, okay, man, I fight him at Madison Square Garden, but to fight a previous world champ, a guy that's been there before and that's been at the highest of highs, and knowing that you have a challenge ahead of you, and knowing that this could be the fight of the night opportunity, this could be a fight that's going to go down in the history books, that's what you thrive off of going into Madison Square Garden, to fight someone like Eduardo Dantas and fighting for a promotion like Bellator.